Okay. Hi, welcome. I am going to talk about the Aroma Essentials collection today, specifically how it supports your lifestyle, your day to day, medicinally, as well as emotionally. I think for me, my favorite part of this kit is that it can support our bodies emotionally. So, what are you getting with this collection altogether? You are getting 10 of the best smelling oils, and they're blends, and some of them are just straight oils. They're 5 milliliter bottles, and you get 10 of them. There's also a Lulu's diffuser. It's a beautiful white diffuser. It has a cord that you can plug in. It has different stages to it that you can set it for like an hour or 2 hours, and a couple different light options for that. And you know what I love? So this collection is, we'll talk about this in a second, but it helps get rid of the toxins in your home. So for me, this is the kit I would recommend if you're wanting to just dive into diffusing and replacing those candles in your home. It comes at a wholesale price of $155, and that wholesale account is completely free for the first year upon your first order. And so you're sitting at very close to dollar amount is that 115 PV, and you're receiving again that aromatic support, topical support, and internal benefits. That aromatic, though, really does drive and hone in the emotional side of things. So I wanted to share really quick with you a video next, and it just kind of puts into perspective all of the things that we're breathing in or surrounded by that are going to potentially harm our bodies.
Not so long ago, ingredients were legible, fragrances were real, cleaning products were safe, and cheese was, well, cheese. Yes, once upon a time, products were actually products of nature. But over the last century, industry after industry abandoned the source for synthetics and purity for profit. But what does it mean for your health? Concern is mounting over the risks of toxic load. For the most part, bodies are quite adept at filtering and flushing toxins, which is important since some toxins are not easily avoided. The human body can only filter and flush so much before the load takes a physical toll. Though you can't control many everyday environmental toxins, you can purge the hundreds of toxins lurking in your own cabinets and drawers. Indeed, studies have found that just a squirt of common air freshener releases close to 100 contaminants. Many perfumes and colognes contain phthalates, which emerging science suggests may be linked to reproductive and development issues. Most products used to clean the home should probably come with a full protective suit. It wasn't always this way, and it doesn't have to be. Pure and effective products do exist that bring the best of nature into your everyday routines. The choice is yours. dōTerra. Pursue what's pure.
All right. So, what stood out to you most in that video? For me, it was just that repetitive. There's so much synthetic and adulterated fragrances and chemicals being put out into the air that are just, we've gone from our ancestors who used all natural remedies to now we're overburdened with constant toxins in our lives. And that is going to play a huge impact on our personal health, on our children's health, on our pet health. If you're sitting in your home, I have some friends who really, really love their pets, and I love my puppy. And that, let me just let someone in here. It could play an impact on the way that they're inhaling and breathing as well. And so just being cautious of what you're putting out in your home and what you're inhaling, it matters. And so if you're using maybe those candles, funny enough, that's why I said that diffusers are good, and this kit is a good replacement for candles. So candles are going to be putting off things like those phthalates. They're going to be putting off endocrine disruptors, hormone disruptors, potentially harming your respiratory system, causing headaches. I mean, there's an abundant amount of things that can be caused just by what you're smelling. And it's innocent, right? We don't really, a lot of people at least don't look into what is in these products. So that's why I'm here, is to educate you on that. And so candles, wall plugs, even other forms of aromatic dispensers are filled with a toxic load. Um, there's fire hazards behind candles, the constant chemicals in the air. And I love to compare the cost benefit and the amount you're getting out of them. So when you're burning a candle for a long period of time, you're only getting what's in that candle. Whereas a diffuser, you have that bottle, same thing, you're only getting what's in the bottle, but instead it's going to last you so much longer. And your cost per drop is going to be so much less than that cost of a $15 or $35 candle. And one thing that's really cool about essential oils is that you can mix and match and create your own blends, or put in whatever blend you want, changing it out frequently. I mean, I go through multiple different types of blends and oils throughout my day. I go from really ones that target immune boosting and supporting my kiddos. I go to ones that are just going to help our mood and start our day fresh, ones that kind of calm us down at night. So I have a variety that I go through, but I'm not stuck with that one $35 candle that I can just burn till it's gone before I can get my next one. So that's one thing that I love, that is such a cool aspect to diffusers. And again, just re-amplifying that what we breathe in does matter, and it does affect our health, whether we see it abundantly or frequently or not. What we breathe in is gonna affect us. And then one way we can do that is by lowering the toxins in our life. And that sounds like a really big task, but you can start small. I started small. I started with just diffusing. Then I started applying topically and using the products and the oils more medicinally, as plant-based natural medicine, as my first resort before going to other medications. And I always stand by that there is a balance and there's a time and a place for both. But I personally like to choose the natural route first. But anyways, I started by diffusing, then I implemented the medicinal side of things. Then I started switching over the toxins in my home, the chemicals, the things I clean with, my dish soaps. I just recently, after all this time, started trying out a new laundry soap that's cleaner, that's less toxic. So that is kind of the lowdown of why I diffuse and why I highly recommend this kit specifically, to just start you off and get that your house smelling good, all that stuff, while still getting the good aromatic benefits to it. All right. So here is the breakdown of the essential oils, more so on the medicinal side of things, the topical side of things, and just how they help us in our day to day. So balance is our first one. This is going to support any kind of tantrums, that witching hour, struggling to ground yourself, stress, anxiety, going back to tantrums, mood swings. That is what I would reach for in diffuse balance. And then the next one would be wild orange. So wild orange is a citrus oil. And so most, if not all, citrus oils help promote our happiness and improve our mood. And so it's a great one for depression. It's great for energizing. And the L peel inside wild orange essential oil actually helps with coughs and colds. So I like to put it in warm water with honey and a couple others. On Guard and peppermint are on here as well. And that's part of something that I use when I have my family or I have a cold or a cough. Citrus bloom is our next one. This is just a light, fresh aroma. It's uplifting, it's delighting. It has both citrus oils and floral oils combined into this blend. Our next one is peppermint. So peppermint, when your tummy hurts and you'll go kind of put like a mint in your mouth, same kind of thing. Peppermint's great for nausea. It helps again with that energy, with that fatigue. When I'm tired, I like to put some on my thumb, push it to the roof of my mouth for about 30 seconds. And I kind of get that like, okay, here we go again. I like to have it in the car with me when I'm doing late night drives because I could roll it on my neck, do the same thing on the roof of my mouth, and it helps wake me up. And it's also really good for fevers. On Guard. On Guard is our protective blend. I'm actually diffusing this upstairs right now. And I roll it on my kids' feet every night. It helps kill those airborne pathogens. It's going to boost our immune system. It's great during colds and flu season. And if you do get sick, I like to say it's a preventative, a protective, and a post protective as well. Like you're just kind of going back in a cycle of using it before, during, and after sickness, just to really help our bodies kick out the yucky stuff. The next one is Cheer. I just recently tried this one this year, and I have it in a roller bottle form. This helps with discouragement, hysteria. Really, it's going to help boost your mood. And I will talk about that in a second. It's the cheerful oil. So kind of its name speaks for itself. The next one is Northern Escape. And that helps with our mental load, our mental stress, and overstimulation. It's a good foresty blend. It has 7 different tree oils combined into one blend. And then our next one is Adaptive. I really think this oil should be in every single home. It helps anyone from infant to 110 years old till you're gone. It is the best oil, especially for moms who get overwhelmed. It's a great one to diffuse, to apply topically. And they do actually have it in a soft gel form too that you can take, but focusing on that, just the oil, diffusing it is going to improve everybody's mood. I've taken that oil before. I'll diffuse it. I've even made a spray bottle with it before, and my kids will be playing and I'll just kind of and spray it by them. So that they're playing nicely. Let's keep that up. We don't want any issues. We don't want anybody getting angry. I've applied it on my kids before when they're really frustrated and they're kind of needing a little bit of extra support to calm down. If you struggle with anxiety, with depression, with overwhelm, just stress, it is a great one to calm you down. It is the calming blend. And then another one that's really cool is Adaptive can help with menstruation. So for the women that do struggle with cramps and stuff like that, you can apply it to your lower abdomen and help support your body that way. The next one is Serenity. Oh, this is another top favorite. I mean, the 10 oils in this kit are just, they nailed it on the head right there. Serenity is one I use every single night. I use it on my kids topically, and we diffuse it in everybody's room, and it smells like heaven. It is the restful blend. So it helps with restlessness, with insomnia. Really, I like to just describe it as it helping you get to sleep. It doesn't actually, for me personally, I wouldn't say that it helps me like stay asleep and knock me out. That's not its purpose. Its purpose is to kind of like gradually get you to wind down, to rest, and to fall into that sleep. It does, however, help you get a better night's sleep. And that's also speaking from experience, but that is also proven scientifically. And then it helps with muscle tension too. And then our last one out of the 10 5-milliliter bottles is Breathe. So I like to pair On Guard and Breathe together during sick season. If anybody's coming up with cough or germs, is struggling here in the chest, in the lungs, I grab Breathe, I diffuse both of them. Again, we're killing off those airborne pathogens, but the Breathe is going to help open our airways. It's going to do exactly what it says. It's going to help you breathe. It's going to help your kids breathe. Putting it in a humidifier. Actually, dōTerra has one that totally off topic, but they have a diffuser humidifier combo. So when any of my kids are sick, I will put that in their room with On Guard, with Breathe, with eucalyptus, those kind of things, and just really push all that out into the air because we're breathing it in and it matters and supporting our bodies that way. It's really good with congestion. So if you do get all stuffed up, it's going to help drain that out and really, again, open those airways. And if your child has asthma, this is another one to grab for that. Breathe, diffusing that. And yeah, so then moving on, I want to talk now just about the emotional side to these oils. So we just talked about the day-to-day use and how they support our bodies that way. Now I'm going to go over each of them individually, talk about how they support us emotionally, and you'll get kind of the gist of the entire reason I would recommend this kit to you. All right, so first up is balance. So I mentioned that balance is grounding. It is, in fact, the oil of grounding. Emotionally, this blend addresses being scattered, ungrounded, disconnected, and unstable. This oil, applying it or diffusing it, inhaling it aromatically, is going to help live in the present moment. You're going to stay focused and committed to a goal until it is actually out in the world. So balance is going to help you drive through and push through and not teeter off and not reach your goal. It's going to help you reach that goal. Another thing it does is it helps ground your energy and manifest your vision, and helping you be patient and rooted just like a tree, because balance is a blend that has all of those tree type oils as well. And then an affirmation you can say when you're inhaling when you're inhaling balance. So I don't have balance on me right this second, but I do have different ones. So one thing I like to do to really hone in what I'm about to say, what I'm about to do the affirmation and tell myself, is I'm going to put a drop of oil in my hands and rub them together. And I'm going to do what's called a scent tent. So you're going to put that oil in your hands and you're going to cup your hands over your nose and you're going to inhale, getting that aromatic benefit going into the nose, into your olfactory system, and reassuring your body of whatever that oil is wanting you to do, whatever the oil's purpose is and the energy behind it is. So balance, your affirmation is, I am grounded in the present moment. And that's your affirmation that you can connect with balance. Our next one is wild orange. So wild orange is the oil of abundance. Oh, I love this oil because I'm like, yes, give me abundance here, abundance there. I love wild orange. Again, don't forget that scent tent when you get down to the bottom there and do your affirmation with it. But wild orange addresses being dull, feeling lack of energy, being a workaholic, scarcity, being overly serious, being discouraged, or even envious. Wild orange is going to inspire that abundance and help you be creative, but doing so with a positive mood, with a happy mood. Because again, citrus oil gives you that good, happy vibe. And it also helps us reconnect with the inner child, being playful, being spontaneous, being joyful. Again, that kind of like giddy, relaxed happiness that comes with wild orange. It will help you find a limitless supply to whatever you're needing. Again, that abundance. It's a reminder that there's enough to go around. And that specifically goes for like an orange tree, right? There's always plenty on the orange tree. But that's just for any kind of a tree/forest blend, is a reminder that there is enough. And then finally, to be true to yourself and don't live in fear. So our affirmation for wild orange is, I believe in abundant gifts and infinite possibilities. Okay, our next one is citrus bloom. Citrus bloom is the oil of new beginnings. I love this because I think we just went through a bunch of new beginnings. We're still kind of hitting that new beginning as we've just recently moved. And just starting over can be hard. Transitioning can be hard. And so citrus bloom addresses feeling guilty, being stagnant, mobilized, remorseful, or stuck in the past. This oil is an ally during that transition phase, whatever that might be for you. It helps clear stagnant energies, inspires that excitement about your future, about new possibilities coming your way, about the next steps in your life. And it also helps you listen to yourself and honor the messages that you're receiving. Listen deep within. Trust that you have the answers within you, and know that you can be supported by these oils to help you, again, transition and get through. So grabbing that citrus bloom, diffusing it, inhaling it, you can back it with the affirmation, I embrace new beginnings and possibilities. All right, our next one is peppermint. It is the oil of a buoyant heart. This oil specifically just makes me so happy. I think it's because my oldest just loves this oil. Like anytime he's struggling and he needs a little bit of joy in his life and happiness, peppermint, he's like, where's my peppermint? I need that. And he just knows that it supports his mood. So that's really cool. But it addresses sadness, being heavy-hearted, having intense despair, unbearable anguish, or if you're pessimistic, this will help you. So it helps bring joy to the heart and to the soul. And I've seen it in action. It really does. It can change your mood from that sadness. And when you're really focused on that energy and the vibration from the peppermint and let the peppermint do the work, you will feel a difference. You will feel a shift. It helps you in staying on the surface of emotional issues. So it's going to help you stay on top of them. You're not going to just be stuck in a negative emotion all the time. Something about peppermint is that the power of peppermint can be felt in the most discouraging times. Even in your worst despair, you can still find the joy to be alive and the joy to be pushing through. So if you're at your lowest low, peppermint's going to support you. However, on the flip side of things, peppermint can be overused and abused. And so we want to avoid that when using this in our emotional support. If it is used as a permanent escape from the pain you might be feeling emotionally, the struggles, it's going to hinder the growth and the progress, and you're going to be stuck. You're not going to be able to experience the full benefit to peppermint if you're just relying on that and not working through your issues and working through your emotions and processing them and releasing them. So you as an individual are not meant to waddle and to just stay in that shallow water forever. Our affirmation for peppermint is joy lifts me over the storms of life. So it's going to help support you and take you over the storms of life. Okay, On Guard. Again, I mentioned this earlier. On Guard is the oil of protection, not just physically. It also protects us energetically. It protects our emotions. So I also do emotion coaching, essential emotion coaching, where I coach paired with essential oils and help people process their emotions. And in doing so, I, being the guide for them, can inherently take on their energies. And that can be a lot for somebody as a coach, as a guide. And so what I like to do is I like to take On Guard and put it on and rub it on prior to a session so that I'm protecting my body from other people's energies and my mind can stay clear and open and unbiased as we go through this, and I help them find their own path through. So On Guard is a great one to energetically protect us, and it wards off those energetic parasites. It also shields individuals from harmful threats, emotional threats, and it helps strengthen our inner self and standing up for ourselves, being confident in who we are and setting those boundaries and maintaining them. And, having boundaries does not mean that you're pushing everybody away. It's telling them that you're going to show up as you are and what you're comfortable doing. And that affirmation then with On Guard is I am safe and protected. Our next oil is cheer. Cheer is the oil of cheerfulness. And it really is one that just kind of brings you that positive mood again. It's going to address things like being weighed down, feeling hopeless, not having joy, being heavy-hearted, depleted, or helpless. It helps those the people weighed down by many challenges in this life. If you're constantly feeling trials and struggles, cheerfulness is going to bring that hope back to you. If you have those repetitive trials, it can help create expectations of this is going to be forever. I am going to suffer and I'm not going to have an end to this. And all I have is bad luck or no break. Instead, grabbing that cheer is going to help you be reminded that that's not the truth. That in fact, you can have hope, and that when you stretch that hope, you'll be able to see the limitless potential and endurance that's ahead of you. It also reminds us that there is a lot more in life than just the hardship that you're going through and experiencing right now. And I know that that's hard to believe. And that's obviously something that's like, oh, easier said than done. She can be happy after her trials. No, just no. You have to work through them. You have to work through your emotions, but you can pair it with an essential oil like cheer to help push you through, to help remind you that you're not stuck in suffering. You're not stuck with hardship and trials, that there is light at the end of that tunnel and you will push through. And so our affirmation for cheer is I trust in a brighter future. Okay, Northern Escape. This is the oil of stable transitions, addressing things if you're feeling unstable, distracted, if you want to give up, if you're feeling complete burnout, if you're needing to control a lot of things, or if you have unrealistic expectations for yourself or others or whatever that might be. Again, Northern Escape has 7 tree oils all together working in harmony to support different transitions through life. It is an emotional shelter and balance during tumultuous times. So I think of that word balance. Anytime I think of a tree oil, or in fact, this one having 7 different tree oils in its blend, I think of being rooted and having that strength through my roots in those times of transition, right? In that time of being unstable or maybe having that unrealistic expectation. I'm like, okay, I'm rooted. Now my branches need to grow. Which way are they going to grow? And I can help direct them when I'm really focused and grounded in. It anchors individuals so they don't prematurely escape the growing opportunities they've been called to. That means that this oil, Northern Escape, is going to help you if you're stuck in a hard time, if you're stuck in a transition and you're like, I just want to get out of it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's actually going to help you stick around for just a minute and teach you a lesson, because there's something that you're needing to learn from that transition. Each stage of life is a stage of growth. And then also it's an ally when reevaluating your life's influences, accomplishments, legacy, and purpose. And it helps you shift judgments of yourself. It helps you shift your judgments of your successes as well as your failures. And your affirmation for Northern Escape is I anchor in integrity throughout my transformation. All right, on to adaptive. You know, I said how much I love this oil. Adaptive is the oil of adaptability. It addresses being anxious, being uneasy, worried, obsessed, self-critical, depressed, controlling, or even fearful. It helps one adapt to stressors and fears and having a more clear and constructive focus and being confident in your direction. It helps you look deeper inside you and examine where the emotional triggers are and what they're stemming from and what they're trying to teach you. Let me give you an example. If you're reacting poorly and yelling constantly, sometimes rightfully so, but at your child, for me, a lot of the times I take a step back and I think to myself, why? Why did I react that way? I'm looking deeper. What's triggering me? Is it something they did that is upsetting me? Is it something in my own beliefs, in my own maybe younger self that got triggered? that child, that younger child inside me, that inner child? And if it is, what is my reaction trying to teach me? And what's it trying to teach my child? Because yelling is not going to teach them anything. I have learned that the hard way, and I'm still learning that. But if you can take a step back and look deeper and recognize where those triggers are coming from and see, is what they're doing really harming you? Is my reaction really appropriate in this moment? Why am I reacting this way? And what can I learn from this? I promise you, you can move forward smoother and calmer. When you're, again, feeling that overwhelm, when you're feeling like life is a lot as a mom, even as a husband or father with juggling everything in work and life, adaptive helps calm you and kind of lift that weight of stressors off your shoulders. And it can help teach that the self-judgment and loathe is the inner critic and furthers trauma. So if you're going to judge yourself, then you're basically continuing to hurt yourself, is kind of what that was trying to say. And then safety is found in the arms of the divine, whoever the divine is for you. If that's God, if that's Mother Nature, if that's the universe, if that's the sun, whatever it is, your safety is in that divine. And your affirmation for adaptive, when you're inhaling it with your scent tint or diffusing it, is I accept myself and my unique journey, because we're all on a different one. Oh, goodness. Okay, so that is supposed to be the serenity oil. So pretend that shows serenity on there. Serenity is the oil of tranquility. It's our purple bottle, our restful blend. It addresses being stressed, emotional overload, being restless, agitated, anxious, or disconnected. It helps calm and help relinquish those negative feelings and reconnect yourself with inner peace and healing and personal reflection. And then also, I was going to pull my book out here for you just so you can kind of see an idea of what it looks like, of where I'm getting my information from. So I would say 90% of what I'm sharing with you today on the emotional side of things is from the Essential Emotions book. And all of the descriptions of these oils are written by a beautiful, amazing lady named Amanda Porter. But anyways, let's see. Is that going to show? It's not going to show because it's blocking out my face. This is what it looks like, if you can even see me in the corner of your screen. But Serenity encourages individuals to first connect with themselves and discover the peace that lies within, and then reconnect with the humanity in others. It invites them to acknowledge when they feel out of balance and allow time and space for true renewal. So it kind of gives you that cycle of refreshment. Like, okay, here I am, process it, move forward. It also gently reminds that others are often caught in similar cycles of imbalance and encourages compassion and acceptance of them. Serenity brings a sense of tranquility that allows space for personal reflection, peace, and healing. Our affirmation for Serenity is I take time to rest, relax, and rejuvenate. And then our last oil, let's see here, there we go, is Breathe. And as the title, the label of the oil and how it's named, it is the oil of breath to help you breathe. It addresses sadness, grief, despair, feeling unloved, constricted, distrusting, or closed off. It helps you when you have the inability to let go of grief and pain, struggling to breathe, and literally being suffocated by sadness. I don't know if anyone else has ever felt this. I have had a situation like this where that sadness and that grief consumes me. And it's almost like you go into a panic attack, but you just feel suffocated. Like, I can't catch a breath. Like, this is all consuming. And Breathe can help you open those airways and help you breathe through it and know that you're not stuck there, and that you you can find love and a path forward through whatever you're grieving or being sad from. Those not knowing the love that they need will be there. If you don't know that you have love for yourself, or that others love you, Breathe will support you in that, and knowing that there actually is love for you out there. There's an abundant amount of it. And then also it supports one's relationship with spirit and deepens one's connection with life. And your affirmation for Breathe is, my heart is safe to open. So anyways, that is just the whole shebang of all the different oils that come in the Aroma Essentials collection. All 10 of them are very versatile. They're very fun oils. They're great candle replacements. They're great health, like lifestyle replacements. They're also amazing emotional support. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. My Instagram information's